Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakurash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And Shalom to the hopeful, like Shalom, Shalom. Right, so we're going to be looking at an article today about, what these preppers think they got to do, and what most of the people in the world out here, and I wouldn't even say most, I would say those people out here in the world that are semi awake and know what's going on. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is using carnal means to preserve their lives. Okay, because they see the things that come, man. All right, and we preach and pray and we preach and prophesy about these things and have been doing so for a very long time. All right, and people are finally waking up and smelling the coffee, man. All right, but without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, bring out some precepts, and Lord's will, this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. All right, it says, how would I survive the apocalypse? By stocking up on the key item most preppers forget, by Emma Brox. It says, I'm also starting to stock up, although it strikes me that the French have left out one important piece of advice from their booklet. It's a fairly strong indication that your U.S. presidency is not going well when within 3 months of you taking office, one of your closest allies feels the need to issue its entire population with a manual on how to survive an imminent threat, according to French media reports. That is what the French government is planning in the form of a 20-page booklet to go out to its citizens this summer. Now, while it's intended for use against natural disaster or medical threat, we all know what we are really talking about here. The French government would like to remind its people that in the event of a nuclear attack, which, what does the scripture say about that, man? Okay, let's get it. Let's go to Malachi 4:1, man, real quick. All right. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. See, so uh, this day, this fire, okay, as we've explained before, the lake of fire is not talking about a place you burn in hell forever, man. It's a day that's coming. All right, that's the third world war. Okay, and when it really pops off, it goes nuclear. All right, America, also known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, okay, is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction, okay, by way of these intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are going to be carrying nuclear warheads, man. All right, so it's going to be a very terrible day, but it has to come, and it's a beautiful thing that it comes because that's gonna be the end of Esau Edom's rulership, man. Okay, it says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble." Okay, and that's you Edomites, man. You so-called white people. All right, you are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. You are the devil. Okay, and a lot of people are gonna die on this day, man. Okay, and even people in the world see that this is imminent, man. Okay, so it's about time for you Israelites out there to wake the fuck up and smell the coffee, man, and get with the program, man, because only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to be able to protect you on that day. You see, the scriptures have told about these things for thousands of years, man, and it's finally coming to pass, man. We're finally getting close, man. All we're waiting for is the MOTB to be mandated for buying and selling. And that's the last major prophecy that has to be fulfilled before a third world war could go nuclear. All right? And the Salakia, we'll read that part again. And all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Right? And you can see this precepts to this all throughout the scriptures, man. Second Peter, Isaiah, Revelation, all these prophets are speaking about the same event in just in different words and describing different aspects of it. Okay, it talks about the sun and the moon and the stars will not give their light. Okay, because when those nukes go off, it's gonna cover the sky in smoke. All right, and also you got Yahweh Shai returning in his giant fathership. All right, but nevertheless, these people all know, the nuclear war is imminent, man. Okay, it says they must remember to close the doors and windows. Okay, which, yeah, obviously, right? You don't want your doors and windows open, but yeah, I've been seeing headlines about this. The French are giving their people booklets on how to survive nuclear war. I believe Russia already has nuclear these cheap bunkers for people, for everyday citizens, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so a lot of these countries are preparing for nuclear war, man. Okay. It says, my dad recalls Buckinghamshire County Council issuing a similar pamphlet in the 1980s for when Russia dropped an atomic bomb on Aylesbury. My family didn't need the advice as it happened in the event of the collapse of civil society. My mother's Tupperware and plastic bag reserves that filled an entire floor to ceiling cupboard would have pushed us to the top of any barter-based value system. Plus, for at least a week, we could have lived like kings on decades-old gravy and bologna sauce, loosened from the permafrost of the chest freezer in the garage like the body of a caveman after an ice age. To my mother's disappointment, this opportunity to be vindicated in the face of my dad's occasional efforts to have it clear out never came to pass. Right? Because people want to prepare and do all these things. And, back then they might have been able to, have all these hordes of food and items and survive for a long time. But what's coming in the future, nobody will escape it, man. Okay? The scriptures talks about, uh, you know, there's going to be the elite. We know that the elite is going to escape. Certain of the elite is going to escape to their underground bunkers in other countries. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg, I believe, has uh, an underground bunker off one of these small islands. I forget which island. Okay, but everything here in America is going to be destroyed. It doesn't matter how deep they dig into the earth. If you're in a bunker